All right, we're live.
Woo!
Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of Top Rope Squishy. I wasn't live last week because I was dying with a very bad migraine, but I survived, so I'm here. And if you don't know who my guests are, then you're crazy. Because they've been on my show before. They have an amazing podcast. If you have not checked it out, it's Four Corners of Commentary. Their links, including their handles for social media, everything in the description. But please, guys, say hello. Say what's up.
Oh, now? Hey, what's up? As always, wait, are we doing the usual stuff? Because
I mean,
Do whatever you guys want and plug your
need
show. Stryker, plug your game that you're signing off for, all of that.
I always start. Okay. Somebody else start. I gotta start at 8:30.
Ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing? It's your boy QS. As you already know, it's about three of us right now. We have one on the way, but we are the Four Corners of Commentary. Thank you for having us. Always, Maddy. Thank you.
Check out Tone. What's up?
What up, Tone?
Tone.
What's good, brother? Anna.
I'm StrykerDragoon. I am your resident wild boy, I guess you can say. Let me stop. StrykerDragoon on basically everything. Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube. It's at StrykerDragoon 131. I will be leaving out a bit early because I have to co-stream the Game Awards with my Discord. So if I disappear, you'll have Stretch in place of me, and Stretch is always entertaining. So that's about it.
But make sure that you guys head over if you have Twitch and go check out the Gameage. I don't have
YouTube
Twitch.
Actually. I'm not a Twitch guy. YouTube, yeah.
Oh, that's even better.
At StrykerDragoon 131 on YouTube, since somebody else had my name apparently since 2011, and I didn't know.
How does that happen?
So when they gave out the YouTube handles, whoever had the name first basically got dibs on it. So there was another page with the name, but the email was different than my actual email, which is actually StrykerDragoon. So he got that first, and he only has one video, but he's been on YouTube since 2011. I've had this name since 2003. So if anything, I should have already trademarked it. You know what I mean? But it is what it is.
You sure it's not you?
No, it's not me.
Like by accident?
I don't
like
ride.
Shit happens.
I don't ride motorcycles. I don't.
Like, that's why my Twitch is different. So, and I'm pretty sure it's because like I set it up to the PS3, so the K Marvel or Mr. Marvel 87 is connected to that, but something else. I tried again, and it was like,
different.
It's
but I think PS3 was me.
Some bitch.
I think PS3 was me, but then when I went and actually checked it, it was the other guy. Like the avatar changed and everything, so I know it wasn't me.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I have a really quick, funny story about gaming. So back in the days, I used to play World of Warcraft on PC.
We're here. Yeah.
And so I had the name Squishington, and I was not a number. It was just Squishington, and I stopped playing it. And you lose your name, I think, after a couple of months or so, or if you go like back then. And when I went back, there was a Squishington, like 1, 2, 3. So there was about 25 of them. So I was the first. So
yeah. But you see the guy on YouTube? He has the name, but I everywhere else.
Timothy is his name.
Yeah, but you know what? If you can get it, try to trademark it.
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to trademark it.
That name is cool. Hey, Stretch.
Hi.
Timothy.
Hey, Professor. Professor. We in the middle of introductions anyway, so you might as well go.
Yes. Say hello.
Last but not least.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You viewing public out there.
Stretch. Stretch look like he's tired.
Everybody else,
I like my job. I see the impact of my work every day, but I'll be damned if it's not tiring. It was one of those like I had to tell him like, oh, ready. Stryker texts us saying like, oh, it's time to get in the room and everything. I'm like, I'm with a client, unfortunately. Like, give me a second.
I'll be a while.
I'll be there in a minute.
It is all good. We understand.
And then, last but not least, K Marvel. Y'all saw me recently, so it's me. We're the four corners of commentary.
The actual four corners.
The actual four corners.
It's all commentary. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Four corners of commentary have arrived at my show once again, and I am so grateful to you guys. Thank you so much for taking your personal time out to come and sit with me. When we're done here, jump to the four corners of commentary. Watch their show at 8:30. Stryker, have them going simultaneously. Support everyone.
Yeah, just support. The love needs to be shown, and I'm pretty sure the love is there. So
yes, we love you guys. And I think you guys have an awesome podcast. So gracias once again. Guys.
Thank you.
Yesterday's Dynamite, 1 through 10.
Was actually a pretty damn good show. I don't know who's booking the show, honestly, because that doesn't seem like a Tony Khan book show. It actually had cohesion. Moxley wasn't boring. Everything lined up properly. Even long-term storytelling or story weaving that they're trying to do with the Regal thing, they covered up the Regal thing perfectly. Ricky Starks and MJF were fucking amazing. I'd probably give it a 9. I think the dead spot was obviously the women's portion, unfortunately. We managed to get a trios match on Dynamite with Jade involved. So, I mean, I guess we don't lose in that sense. But that's the only way they're going to get multiple women on the show.
Yeah, you got to do more than singles matches, unfortunately. Yeah. And it wasn't that great, that match, unfortunately.
The only dead spot of the show.
QS.
Everything else is great.
I give it an 8. It was a calm 8. It wasn't. I'm not gonna say like it was a lot. It wasn't to me like the best Dynamite of the year. But it was just regular. It was regular in a sense, but it was enjoyable. But there's always still room for improvement. They still have much more. They need to be booking. The booking needs to be a little bit more sharper, a little bit more smooth.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think especially going into when you're having a pay-per-view this weekend, it just seemed like a regular Dynamite to me. It was regular. I'm not gonna be one to sit here and say like it was one of the better ones. It was okay. It was okay. An 8 is nothing wrong with an 8.
An 8 is a great score.
Yeah, right. Nothing wrong with it. Like
for you rating AEW, yeah, that's pretty
a great
damn
score. Stretch.
7.5, and I agree with a lot of what QS said. I think that it could have been a lot tighter for a show, like he said, going into a pay-per-view, especially because they're still making matches for it. Like, I maybe I'm petty. I gave it a 7.5, and that was strictly off of the Gun Boys announcing that, like, oh, you guys are going to be having a dog collar match with the Briscoes. Like, what gave you any power to make that match? Like,
right. It was like,
that's the thing.
Why couldn't they be on the show?
To me, they could have presented that a lot better. Like, I don't know. Like, a lot of it to me fell. I think the wrestling action's always fine. To me, it's like they're having problems right now with their presentation aspect of just how they are going into storylines, how they're continuing things, how they're making things happen. The wrestling aspect is 100% fine. I think the problem is just that presentation aspect. So I gave it a 7.5. And the Guns are like the last tag team that you should have announced a freaking tag team match. They could have had Excalibur going like this just in, like they normally do. Why not? Like, they know Tony Khan makes all the freaking matches backstage anyway. So what? Like,
I get that. That works too.
Kyle.
I mean, I can't really argue with anything anybody said, and I'm not really going to reiterate it. So, I'd probably say the same thing, 7.5, like 8, somewhere in between. The action's good. It always is.
Yeah, that's just.
The women's match was a little lackluster. We already knew who was going to win. Like, let's be real.
For real. But there's something to cover with the women's match, something that is going on there, which we'll get to.
And yeah, just everything everybody said. Like it just wasn't. The announcements weren't. You're telling me you couldn't get the Briscoes to wherever the hell they were at. Anyways, we'll get to it.
Yeah. But I agree with you there for sure. I actually gave it a 7, which is low for me.
Okay.
I was overly optimistic today. That's crazy.
Something about yesterday's show
thing.
kind of didn't click with me. Some things, like, for example, we could just jump right into it. It started with the battle royale. It was all over the place. I wasn't exactly sure, like, what the rules were. Were they the same rules, over the top? Obviously, I caught it after a few minutes, but it was a little sloppy.
I'm by me. I'm recording.
No problem. So then it was something that happened with Brian Cage. You can tell that he was coming out of the ring because he got hit, but it wasn't enough to throw him outside of the top rope. And yet he went over it himself. It was like, so like, you can tell it was happening. You can tell he was going out next. So there were little things happening like that throughout the match that kind of threw me off. But you know, I did love the ending with Ethan Page, Matt Hardy, Captain Shawn Dean, and Ricky Starks. But what came out of the Battle Royale was the fire promo that we got between MJF, which is the current champ, and Mr. Absolute Ricky Starks. Hell yeah. Maxi Pad versus the Pebble. I have to say, when MJF was on the mic, I wasn't sure how Ricky Starks was going to be able to respond, but I wasn't nervous that he wasn't going to be able to, because y'all already know Ricky Starks is gold on the mic as well. So that promo was, to me, the best part of the Battle Royale, even though it came after. What do you guys think?
You know, I'll start it off. I think when you look at, we always just say, like MJF is money. You know, he has the look. You know, he comes with the custom made suits. He has the Burberry scarf. It does make it stand out. But then when you're talking to another one in Ricky Starks, I would just have to say has that more of an edge when it has like the look of the champion. Ricky Starks can talk. Ricky Starks not only. He doesn't need a Burberry scarf. He's always dripped down in Gucci or Dior or Lanvin. Like I really like pay attention to like fashion for a lot of these wrestlers. So when Ricky Starks, whenever he comes out, when he's coming out in like regular dress down clothes, he's always dripped down in money. Like that's how I know it's like, oh yeah, when he's having that promo battle. It's just like, you know, saying the cheap custom made suits, and it's just like, yeah, those, it makes you really think about it. Like, well, yeah, his suits are actually cheap. Yeah, it's like the only thing he really has that's like name brand is just like the Burberry scarf, Burberry belt. It's just like, okay, but it's just, but when you like looking at it, it's like Ricky. Even though I do enjoy Ricky Starks as a heel, as a face, that face promo was pretty. It was actually pretty good. Yeah, I mean, you know, I could have did without the whole, you know, sleeping in my car thing. I don't really need to know about you. I don't really need. We don't. You already are talking. We know you got it. You already got this in the bag. You ain't got to.
Yeah, you're not sleeping in your car no more.
You're not sleeping in your car no more. Like you don't. I don't want to hear anything about the sympathy thing about you sleeping in your car. You was doing through the grind. You've been grind. You're decked out in Dior and Grippy and Gucci almost every week. Like I don't. We're here. You don't have to sit there and like talk about you being from the trenches, but it really just goes to show, like, if this is, I know this is just their first bout, this is going to be the first bout, I would love to see if this is going to turn into like a trilogy, or it's going to turn into like a long-standing feud.
I hope so.
I hope so, because this is good, and it just goes to show that Ricky is someone that you can count on. He arrived. You can count on him to be like, all right, he can hold down the fort.
Quick question. QS.
Yes.
Does Ricky get it next week?
No.
It's a double. It's the ring and the belt. We were like, if it was just the ring, yes.
If it was just the ring, I'd say he get it. But if it's the ring and the belt, no, he's not gonna get it.
Now, if this is a travel to Ricky ending up with the belt, please keep this feud going.
Yeah, that's more or less. I'm more along the lines of I just want to see this feud constantly, like let it keep happening, like keep it going. Don't just let it be like, oh well, you know, it's a one and done. No, you have to make sure this feud keeps going on. It has to keep lasting. This is what the fans want to see. This is what we want to see. We want to see this keep gravitating. We want to see the storyline build. We want to see this.
The good thing about this is that people talk about these pillars, right? And the good thing is that Ricky has proven time and time again that he could be a pillar for this company. A pillar isn't just for, like, it doesn't have to be just for people. I think if this is a trilogy, cool, but I don't want it to be a back-to-back trilogy. You know what I mean? Like, I want it to be, if it's just a trilogy, which it won't be because they're both very young athletes. But, you know, knock on wood, let's not jinx that. But, you know, this has a possibility to be something like a Rock, Triple H. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, a Rock, like that Hunter Hearst. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. There's probably has a much better comparison, but
there's good potential here.
Yeah, I think, and what made this good is that in either one of their promos, neither one of them told a lie.
It's true.
Not at all.
Except for the simple fact that MJF was also a YouTube wrestler. So outside of that statement, of that statement, everything else was pretty on point with both of them. So I was beyond excited because I had to watch it this morning. So I was beyond excited when I watched it. It was really each one, even with the story in the car. You know what I mean? Like they want to get him over. That's how you get somebody over. You pull the heartstrings a little bit. You know what I mean? Especially if they're a face. Hell yeah.
And that was a great fucking spear, by the way.
Oh my God.
That was tied into the chest.
Great.
That was beautiful.
Speared him literally right out of his shoes.
Yes, he did.
We knew that. We knew that. That's good stuff.
Wait, are we each? Oh, by the way, hi Corey, hi Anna. Are each of us answering if we think they're gonna win or no?
Yes, I would love to know what you guys think.
Oh shit, I don't know, man.
Starks is not.
It should it should have been different. That's how you do your trilogy.
Yeah. Call me a pessimist. I don't see a trilogy coming out of this. I see this as a one and done. Honestly, okay. You know what and maybe this is because I've lost a little faith in their long-term booking plans.
That's fair.
I'll say this. I see this as a one and done, but I think Ricky Starks, number one, can only go bit up from this. If Ricky Starks is one of those people, if they miss on Ricky Starks, and they really need to reevaluate everything that's going on in AEW. There's no way they can miss on Ricky Starks. He'll get the championship eventually. I don't see how they can miss on it. But I will say this. I think that especially because it's early in MJF title reign, he's not going to lose in any way, shape, or form, number one. Number two, if there's any trilogy that has a chance of being an actual trilogy, he's going to face off against Moxley again. I can see it because they're already 1-1. Moxley, if you remember early in his championship reign, ran into MJF and he beat MJF when people thought he should have lost the title then. That's neither here nor there.
Yeah.
So they're officially 1-1. So I can see Moxley easily getting a rematch for said championship, even though I don't think I speak for everybody, named StrykerDragoon. We don't want to see that. We're pretty over on Moxley. Like we don't need to see Moxley wrestling for a main event shot again. But I could see that happening more so than Ricky Starks, becoming like, they're getting embroiled in this main event, like trilogy of this main event push. I think honestly he is a stopgap challenger until they can find a big fish for MJF to challenge, which is somebody probably like Bryan Danielson or somebody of that nature. Logically, I think that points his next match will probably be Bryan Danielson, even though it is a shame because all the heat from that feud is on William Regal, who is now leaving the company. They had a promo where it was like he was talking to William Regal, and it's like, well, the hell with anybody else, like hell with Moxley. I want to see them wrestle, Right. And then he clocks Regal in the back of the head with his own knuck after helping him. It's like Regal's the one with the heat. He's the one who needs to get revenge, but he's leaving the company. So I think that threw them a little bit in disarray. The fact that he is leaving the company and they don't really have a long-term answer for challengers for MJF right now. I think that's hurting them right now in the short term. They're in an interesting spot because a lot of the guys they have in the main event scene are either tied up having a best of 7 series, which to me makes no sense. But and the other ones are either hurt or busy doing their own thing. MJF is kind of a champion without any plausible challengers at this point because everybody's tied up. I would like to see Ricky Starks, believe it or not, compete for the TNT title, because that's kind of been lost in the shuffle. The only other thing I can see, if they were to do this, I don't think they will, but I think the story between Wardlow and MJF writes itself. Yep. But I also don't like Wardlow losing to MJF, which I thought they dropped the ball on Wardlow a long time ago.
Taking the belt away from
red hot a long time ago, but I think he's cooled off considerably since then.
Yeah.
I don't see them getting that back anytime soon. But
yeah, I don't.
I think he should have been champion a long time ago, but that's just
I think Wardlow versus MJF to me
writes itself.
Yeah, right. It writes itself, but I think it's just. I think I'm me personally. I'm past it and I think it's only because I think we're from their last bout, because of how flat it was. It just felt how flat it was. It's just like it's okay. Like it's okay. Like we don't need to see that. There's certain things that we just don't. There's certain like one-offs we just don't have to see anymore. Certain feuds we're good. We don't need to see again. I think that's.
Well, they also deflated it too, so it's kind of like, why do I want to see it now at this point?
Yeah, true. I get you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
For everybody. At this point, right? So they're fighting for both the title and the ring.
Yes.
Which who knows why? But do you if MJF is going to win? He's had that ring. He's going to have that ring for 4 years. At this point, is it nothing more than a gimmick? And not a gimmick for everybody, like the Money in the Bank, or fucking a title. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's his gimmick.
What'd you think, Stryker?
Sorry, repeat that one more time.
The ring. If he wins,
would you personally,
consider it his personal gimmick?
It might be his personal gimmick, but at this point, you already decked out the belt. You have the richest prize of your company. Why do you need the ring? The ring is basically like a mid-card title. And once again, it's lost its luster because you do stupid shit like this, where you have somebody hold it for so many years or so much amount of time when it could end up being like $1 million man type of gimmick you can give to other people and have them use it as a story piece instead of just having it tied to MJF, which is supposed to be the rich guy of the company. So me personally, I would have done a 2 out of 3 falls match with them.
Yeah. Exactly, because he's going for 2 things, not just the belt. It just
one is for one.
Yeah.
2 is for the other.
Exactly.
They kind of
similar to like the triple threat for the Intercontinental match.
They kind of booked themselves into a corner because he goes to this battle royal to win this ring,
Yeah.
But now he gets to ring. Like if he has to win in order to win the ring, he now has to beat the champion, and now the title's on the line. So it's like I can say to me, it's obvious as day he's not going to win this match. So what was the point of the battle royal? Like, he went through it for nothing. Like that's the thing.
And that's the problem I have with a lot of this stuff. Like you build these things up and then you drop the fucking balls.
Right.
But
right.
Stryker, you have to leave soon. So we're going to do something a little differently just for Stryker. Stryker's getting his hot seat questions now. Because we are not going to let you leave without getting some hot seat questions.
Heard. Let's go.
So
let's go.
Let's put you in the hot seat. All right, here we go.
Put flames around.
I wish I had some flames. You ready? You're going to get 2 questions and the bonus, which the rest of the people in the room will now have time to think about. Question number 1. Would you rather find true love today or win the lottery next week?
Win the lottery next week.
Fuck true love.
Because true love can come in any shape or form at that point. You know,
well, once you get the lottery, they're gonna come.
Basically.
All right, here's another one. Would you rather? Oh, this is so nasty. Throw up on someone that you admire, or have them throw up on you by mistake?
Hold on. Repeat that one more time. Throw up on somebody I admire. Another one.
Or have them throw up on you.
The second one.
That is OD. You rather have throw up on you, dog?
Because then they're indebted to give me something at that point.
He's smart.
Wow.
He's into that type of. He's into that type of. Ladies and gentlemen, he's into that type of play.
Don't
let
tell
him.
Nah, he didn't have to tell it. We figured it out from your statement.
Whatever floats your Stryker boat.
Everybody wants to throw up on them.
Fuck it.
No, just no.
I agree with you, Stryker, though. Let them throw up on me, and then you owe me something.
Yeah, you owe me something. Well, when you throw it up on you, then it's gonna be like I have to apologize to you. No, you apologize.
They're on some give me those J's shit. It's fucked up.
All right. Now here's your bonus question, which is never a would you rather question. It's a thoughtful question. So, if you could create an alternate universe that you can escape to, knowing, however, that you can never return here, would you? Why would you leave? And what kind of world would it be? And you're all getting that question.
Have to think about that.
I'm happy I didn't listen.
Okay, so alternate reality. And if I choose to go, I can't come back here.
That's right. But
so
you make it whatever
a world where I can create my own, basically my own destiny. I can create my own peace. I could create my own utopia.
Correct.
And everybody gets what they want in a sense of, you know, no poverty, no hunger,
correct,
no anything negative.
Correct.
Go for my alternate reality, man. The difference is true love can exist in multiple forms. You're not stuck. You're not compelled to be stuck to one entity or thing or whatever the hell. But there's a lot of crazy things that happen in this US of A, in this world that we're in right now. And you can see I'm basically fading right now into my alternate reality. Yeah, I think I would do it just because I know that I'm a very fair person and I would love to give everybody what's their just due. There's a lot of craziness happening in the world currently. So, you know, to have the mindset to say, hey, you know, I see what you're going through. Let's give you an opportunity to be somebody better.
I love it.
A lot of the portions of the world now, like they don't give you that opportunity. We live in a country that is freedom of speech, you know, gives us the freedom to, you know, do many things. but the government screws us up at every turn and corner. So like what type of freedom is that really? So of course I'd make my own alternate reality.
I'm going to your alternate reality. It sounds cool.
I want everybody to have fun and enjoy themselves.
Sweet. Those were your hot seat questions. So people, y'all already know that one is coming for all of y'all at the end. But you guys have different questions as well. So I'm sad to see you go when you jump out. But we took care of your hot seat questions because I was like, you're not getting away.
Nope, always willing to answer. So we're cool on that front.
I love that. And we got to talk about Darby dying.
And this is why I said the show was booked well.
Go ahead, Stryker, before you...
Yeah, let me say this one before I dip out. I'm sorry to interrupt you, host.
No, please interrupt me. Go ahead.
We've had so many bigger people face this man, Darby, and he's winning matches.
Right.
But we have Samoa Joe in a title match, and he crushed him as he's supposed to.
Thank you.
You're getting, but this is exactly how you book a match. It doesn't have to be a squash all the time. It doesn't have to be a powerbomb symphony for 20 matches straight. It's supposed to be a delightful back and forth between both two people. Darby is known for having the pain tolerance and, you know, getting through matches, even though he puts himself, basically. But you know, Darby is a guy who's known for the pain tolerance, known for enduring pain through matches and getting all the way to the end. And he just got outsmarted the whole match.
The whole match, even after the bell.
So to me, I don't see the issue. I don't think anybody who has an issue with Darby losing is very silly. Samoa Joe has years on this man in terms of his tenure in the business. Correct. And also, you're supposed to book Joe as a monster. Exactly. He shouldn't have even beat Brody King, but he beat Brody King. You understand what I mean? Like, this is the type of match that it's supposed to be like, and that was well done.
Didn't make any sense. That's why when Miro beat Darby for the TNT belt, it made sense to me.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You know, it's wrestling, so typically little people could beat bigger people. But Darby shouldn't be beating all the big people in the promotion. It's just not believable at all. So I was very happy that Darby got killed yesterday. It was so much fun to watch. I'm sorry, sis. I know Darby's your favorite, but that's the way it should have gone down.
There's one word. Samoa. End of story. End of fucking story. Samoa Joe.
Samoa.
WWE, there'd be a bunch of other Samoans that would be smashing that motherfucker.
What the fuck was up with him licking his fingers though? That was a little weird. Like after he
put him
on the ground, he was like,
not answering that because I don't want to fight him if I ever meet him.
I can only hope Sting was watching as he did that. So you know, your surrogate son dying at my hands. That's what.
Yeah. They have wrestled in many matches.
Well, at the end, Joe was really trying to kill Darby. He threw him on top of his skateboard. That was an insane move. Was that a package?
That was his muscle buster, if I remember correctly.
On top of the skateboard.
Oh my God.
The wheels.
Ooh.
And his spine landed on one of the wheels. Darby wants to die. Like, I think he's a real masochist that be asking for this stuff. Like, I feel like he'd be in the back. Like, that's not painful enough.
I know.
Throw me here too.
A lot of those spots sometimes to me make no sense. This is one of the few that did. Like, kind of got someone over. It made, you know, Joe look like an absolute sadist and an absolute killer. Like, I remember he did a spot where it was one of those battle royals where like Brian Cage put him in a body bag and just dumped him over the top rope on the stage. And I'm like, what purpose did that serve? Like to set up the time to do it and just to throw him on the stage. Mind you, it didn't eliminate him. He just did it to throw him on the stage. And I'm like, oh, that sucked. But why? Like, why did you do that?
Because he likes pain.
He's Jeff 2.0. He just risked his body for everything. He's Jeff Hardy.
I literally was gonna say that. It's like he clearly has been like watching like Jeff Hardy tapes his entire life, because this is it's just like, oh wow, he's up there. He's even doing it worse. You could tell like by the time he gets to that, he gets older, it's gonna catch up to him. Like,
Absolutely.
It's definitely gonna catch up.
I think he said he was retiring at 35, and I'm like, yeah, or you're gonna get retired at 35.
Yeah, because there's no way you can keep on doing this and think like everything's right.
No, and you guys know he does that other stuff, like he does stunts and things on his own time outside of AEW. So he's consistently taking those risks where, you know, one of these days you're not gonna get out of it.
Tony Hawk, the legend.
But anyhow, that was that match. Wardlow came out. I don't really want to see Wardlow versus Joe anymore. I'm over that. What the hell is that, Kyle?
Wardlow.
Oh.
That is him.
Wardlow.
That's him.
What he does.
That is him.
He flexes, pulls together.
He does flex. Listen, Jake Hager, Daniel Garcia took on Yuta and Castagnoli. Sammy was there. Mox was there. The match was good. Wheeler and Castelloni won. But what's really sad is that it's the end, I think, of the Blackpool Combat Club with William Regal leaving AEW. Kind of shocked that happened, but I'm not surprised since his son is in NXT. His son's name, he wrestles as Charlie Dempsey, or am I making this up?
No, you're right.
Okay. Charlie Dempsey. So he's NXT, and any father would want to, be with their child or parent. So the fact that he has this opportunity, that's why I don't think anybody is out there judging him for wanting to leave. They did it very tastefully, in my opinion, but it's sad to see him go. I'm actually sad to see him go. I actually liked the Blackpool Combat Club. They were my favorite team besides the Inner Circle. Stryker, say your piece. Stryker's about to dip, y'all.
Yeah, I have to go and do this co-stream. I didn't even set up the Discord early, but they could wait. Hello, everybody. I'm StrykerDragoon as usual. Find me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, all the same as StrykerDragoon. YouTube is at StrykerDragoon131. I am currently at 84 subscribers. Once we hit 100 subscribers for my page, we are doing a double game giveaway. So that is any standard edition game that you want. Doesn't matter what system, doesn't matter if it's digital or physical. I will be getting you the game. If interested, definitely check out my stream later on after the Four Corners of Commentary podcast, which will be happening at 8:30 with my brothers, Professor Stretch, Mr. QS, and Mr. K Marvel right over there. Please subscribe to our channel at the Council of Commentary on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter at CO Commentary. And also Instagram is the Council of Commentary, TikTok Council of Commentary, such and such and such. But I bid you guys adieu. So goodbye and good night.
No, you did not. No, you did not.
Of course,
and I will see you guys.
You just stole that? Did you just do that?
I did.
Oh, that was disrespectful.
Yes,
I'll see you later, Kenny.
That was so
Have a good night, y'all. Thank you so much, Maddy, as always. And until next time.
God. Yes, you'll do it. We'll have you guys back again all together. Yeah.
Alrighty. Do good, guys. I'll see y'all later.
All right. So Lou says, I'm unhappy about this and the unresolved love affair between Excalibur and William Regal. I'm going to miss that. I'm going to miss their banter. That was so much
You don't think he's going to mention something? You don't think he's going to go to WWE and mention something? Oh, this is about to go down.
Maybe.
The Man in the Mask.
William Regal is about to be the Forbidden Door for real.
I mean,
I would love that.
see.
To be honest, it's about time that everybody gets over this fucking WWE versus AEW thing. It's WWE conglomerate, huge fucking company that's been around since before we were born, kind of situation. Like, stop comparing the two.
Right. It's
for
comparison.
You know what I feel I see with this, what's happening with this AEW versus WWE thing. I think I blame it on the new generation of so-called wrestling journalists. Mm-hmm. I guess if you want to call them journalists, or you want to call them like, podcasters or other podcasters, or just other, I guess you want to say they're fans. I guess because they weren't around for the WCW WWF era days, they just see it like, oh, we're reigniting the old Monday Night Wars, when it's just like there's no war. It's the tribalism is so weird because it's like everybody just keeps going back and forth, not realizing that almost all of these wrestlers are friends. They're all friends. They're all friends. They're all in the same circles. Like we're all winning. And they're all supporting each other. So it's like, why can't we all just support both and just enjoy both? I don't get it. I don't know. It's just, but I guess it's narrative. It doesn't fit the narrative. They want to say that, I guess, they want to see AEW basically like crush WWE, crush it into the mud, and it gets put out of existence. And I don't understand that. There's no way. Like, it's a global conglomerate. Yes. Obviously, AEW is becoming its own conglomerate in its own way, shape, or form. It's still a big, popular company. Yes. Like, no one even had this much energy before when it was Impact versus WWE back in the days. No one had this much energy than what it is now. So that's why and anyway, then Maddy, I think we also got to realize we just got to keep ignoring it, because you got to stop realizing that we get into these like banters online with profile pictures of like their favorite superheroes or like their favorite wrestlers, and we'd be like, all right.
Yep. You don't even know what these people look like half the time.
You know what they look like, but they're not the age that you are. Be like, yeah, I'm arguing with a kid. I need to stop. I need to take it one way.
I had an episode like that not too long ago because I said something negative about Anna Jay. I don't know if you guys got to see some of that.
Yeah. Good on you for doing what you had to do. I mean, like, if you got to block them. Obviously, I just mute them.
Not like you were wrong.
You were wrong.
That's a sad thing. Wrong. Criticism like
Willow Nightingale on TV with Anna Jay and expect an excellent match. And I was surprised that it was as good as it was, and I do believe that was because of Willow. Sorry, I love Willow Nightingale. But anyhow, what did you guys think about the William Regal little promo thing that was pre-recorded? It was tasteful.
Great way to leave.
Yeah, it was nice.
I thought it was a good way to tie up that.
Probably one of the classiest ways ever in wrestling. Period. Think about it. You know what I mean? Like, he's leaving. We know where he's going. We know why he's going.
Right.
This was classy. This was very, very classy. And I think it was out of respect for William Regal. William Regal is a legend. Mm-hmm. He's been in his business for so long. His mind for his business is incredible. But I completely disagree with you on the breaking up of the Blackpool Combat Club.
What do you mean?
They're not breaking up.
You don't think they're breaking up?
Mox already said it.
Okay.
They should. They really should.
Nah, because they could listen.
I like them together.
DB can just associate with them, like how he has been. You know what I mean? It's fine. But those two can get can get two more people, singles or tags. Doesn't matter. Bring a woman in, bring another guy in. Doesn't matter.
Do you see?
As a matter of fact, they got the mixed tag titles, so you can bring a mixed tag team in.
They do. But do you see House of Black taking the trios titles at any point?
Oh
yeah.
I also see a possibility of Buddy Murphy and Julia Hart taking those mixed tag titles. I
Buddy
think they should
Matthews?
utilize. Yeah, whatever his name is. My fault.
No, I heard Buddy Murphy.
It's been a while.
Yeah,
I
you
need
know,
to learn
I mean,
these names again.
That's what he looks like.
Buddy
somebody
Murphy.
from
Buddy Murphy went into the abyss, bro.
Yeah, my bad. It's been a while. I haven't had to talk about him in quite some time.
Yeah, after that scandal with him and Ray's daughter, it was you never seen him again. It's
yeah. Too bad that wasn't the story with Katie Vick. No, but it's just, you know, he I can see them like while they are able to still use some of these outside titles, because it does help bring eyes to these other promotions. Like, use what you got. Use these mixed tag titles. The WWE is now starting to use that.
I forgot about mixed tag titles.
Yeah, man. Like, the WWE is starting to do that. They just had a mixed tag where Rhea was fighting some of the dudes, and Mia fought Finn.
This was the best. This was the best faction ever.
That post is amazing.
Ever.
Wait, what? Ever in AEW?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, circle, yeah.
Yeah, in AEW.
Low bar.
The greatest.
So I said this last week on our show. On our show. I think the Blackpool Combat Club has ran its course. I mean, granted, Mox did say they're not breaking up. They probably should. Only because I said they should break up, because the direction that they want to go, what they should have been going, it got stale. And
what direction
already
was that?
you already see it, like, you know, the whole point that we all thought that the Blackpool Combat Club was supposed to be like this very exclusive club where they're taking on, where they try to bring in newcomers, guys that they think that guys or gals that they thought they had that grit, that dog in them, and, you know, mold them and make them like, you know, vicious, ferocious beasts that they probably should bring them bring them back to their you know, to the top, you know, bring that group to the top. But then it just started getting weird. Mox it's always a back and forth. Mox with the hot potato for the title, you know.
Yes.
You know, Claudio won the Ring of Honor title, and that kind of was a little flat as well. Then, you know, Wheeler Yuta getting the pure, had the championship, then lost it. It's like it's just a lot of weird stuff going on, and I feel like the faction as itself, they just lost their way, and then they're just in this never-ending feud with the Jericho Appreciation Society, and it's just like,
yeah, that needs to end. And he said that was done. Moxley was like done with the
that comment.
JS. They should rebrand themselves as the Death
Big
Riders.
Facts.
Moxley.
because like the Blackpool Combat Club, like, no.
Yeah,
like,
and with William Regal leaving, it's
like y'all shouldn't even be calling yourselves Blackpool anymore, because
exactly
like, no, it's not fun. It was, fun for what it was.
Well,
but I just think, like, for now, it's just like, yo, y'all are all standalone stars already. You can all just go your separate ways and just
pretty much
do what y'all gotta do.
Do you think they would keep it just out of respect? Because he told his side of the story.
He did.
He said straight up. He said to Mox, he said, "You will understand this." He told his side of the story.
We'll see what happens.
I truly believe Mox would do the same thing.
We'll see what happens if they even stay together in a group, if they break up, if they rename, or whatever happens. It's going to happen within the next week or 2 or 3. Like, within winter's coming, like, before December's over, we're going to know, I think, a little bit more about what that group is going to head into. We're going to
know by Saturday.
I think, if anything, what it also really shows is that Mox just clearly has PTSD when it comes to groups. It isn't pleasant. That's all it shows me. It's just like, you. That's what I'm saying. Is like, maybe you should, like, just be on your own, bro. Like,
you can't be around people.
You can't like, anytime you're in a group, like, you think it's a good faction, it just crumbles.
He's in a corner. He's always in a corner.
Always. It's always going up in flames. I was just like, yo, bro, I don't know, man. Like,
when he was with Eddie Kingston. It's
like,
true. You're right. He needs to roll alone. Moxley, I've always seen him as a solo guy. So
yeah, like it works. It's just like the group is just like, nah, bro. It's not happening.
Oh my God. Hold on, yeah. I think my dog's trying to join me. Come on, puppy. All right. So anyway, we're getting Takeshita versus Mox on Rampage, so that's great. I love Konosuke Takeshita, so I'm very happy that they signed him. The trios match, there's not much to say about this, and we don't have to get into it because it wasn't great. But of course, Jade, Velvet, and Layla Gray won. But the thing that I don't know if you guys noticed was the way that Red Velvet was side-eyeing Jade, and then Jade started giving her looks, and I'm like, there's about to be a feud there. The baddie's about to break up. They're gonna turn on Jade. This is how she's gonna lose her belt, and they're starting it from here.
Jade doesn't need them anyway.
She don't need the baddies.
So
Red Velvet
even if she
can go on her own, like she don't need to be part of it.
Even if she keeps the belt, she doesn't need them.
They're gonna turn on her. And it's gonna start with Velvet. I don't know what Layla Gray is gonna do, but you remember Velvet and Jade had issues right in the beginning. So, but anyway, then we got a promo, Tony Schiavone with Soraya. Baker interrupted, stating that they can have a tag match, but she's bringing Jamie Hayter. Who the hell is Sriracha bringing? Now, this has caused a shit ton of talk on social media about who the fuck this person is. And I can say right now that even though I'm like, oh, I wish it was, it's not going to be Sasha. It's not Naomi. So moving along, people. It's going to probably be Toni Storm. Maybe my girl.
Yes. I actually agree with you. I really think it's going to be Thunder Rosa. I think Thunder Rosa or
she's ready.
Toni Storm would make sense, but Thunder Rosa would be a great big comeback. That'd be a big one. The only other person I would think that would end up being the surprise is Kyrie.
Yes, somebody did say that too. Kyrie.
I think that would be Kyrie. Because as much as we love Sasha, as much as we love Mercedes, I really don't think Mercedes is just going to subject herself to just like her debut is going to be like as a tag team partner. I don't see it like that's especially with her persona, her character. She's the boss. She doesn't need to debut on a tag team match. She's going to just debut on her own standalone. And obviously, this is just always it does bring more buzz because, like I said, one thing about Sasha, she's got the wrestling world in a storm. She's got everybody in a tizzy. But I think it would make more sense storyline wise. It's Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa is going to make that big comeback, and it's going to be, and like I said, she has history with Britt Baker. She's got history.
Jamie has her belt.
Yeah, like it's just straight up like, yo, bring her back. Let's let it tie in. The story writes itself.
She flipping people off here, so that's how she coming back.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Angry as But yeah, what do you guys think about that? What you think, Stretch?
Y'all gonna be mad when it's one of the Iconics. I can tell y'all that now.
I'm not.
If it's Peyton Royce,
and plus it's not
I can tell y'all that now.
You had to bib it.
This is what I'm talking about. It's like kind of booking yourself in a corner when you overpromise but underdeliver. In the sense of, I remember when Johnny, whatever company, insert for his last name, Mr. Morrison. I'll call him John Morrison just because it's easy to keep up with. It's not necessarily I have to remember all the companies he's worked for. And they were like, "Oh, we got the wrong Johnny." They wanted to see Johnny Gargano. Everybody thought it was Johnny Gargano. They were mad when it was him. He showed up against Samoa Joe and had a heck of a match. But it's one of those situations like everybody thinks of like female free agents that's out there, and they're thinking of Sasha Banks. I will think it's either one of two people. It'll be either one of the Iconics, right? Either Cassie Lee or Jess McKay, or it will be Naomi. Now, Naomi's a pretty big fish, but
Naomi's huge, and Naomi was hanging with Jade.
She is. She's a huge deal. I would say if she debuted for AEW, that would be a huge deal. However, I think that anybody is going to be disappointed if it's not Sasha Banks or if it's not Mercedes. Let me say that.
Mercedes. Well, y'all gonna be very disappointed because it's not.
I ain't gonna be disappointed. My expectations ain't high.
The people out there saying, "Oh, it's Sasha," because they were mentioning that Jade's the boss, and why would they be calling boss out?
And that leads me into another point. And I thought about this. I don't want to get too off topic, so I'll be brief. I think that the reason why WWE has the momentum right now is because of the reason why AEW had a lot of momentum initially. They're in a position where they're bringing a lot of people back. So a lot of people are tuning in to see who's going to show up. Yeah. AEW, that luster for AEW is kind of worn off. Like they're not bringing back nearly as many people, and they're kind of a little bit in disarray, kind of, whether it be the front office, what goes on behind the scenes, and what's in front of the camera, if you ask me. So they're kind of losing that luster a little bit. The bloom is a little bit off of that rose. The WWE is for the first time in a long time because they've been bringing back so many people. It feels a lot fresher. You don't know what's going to happen all the time. There's more wrestling on there now.
Yeah.
Like I would have said, like, even if you would have had somebody in this position, whether it be like Mia Yim or Tegan Knox, that would have been a big deal. The WWE already snatched them back up.
Yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see who debuts, but I don't expect it to be like this earth-shattering name that's going to like finally make the women's division. Because how many times have we heard that? Like, oh, this is going to be the signing that puts the women's division on the map, that puts them over the top. They've signed so many people who have done so with them because they feel so insignificant after they debut. So I don't see it being a very big debut at all. My expectations are incredibly low for it.
Yeah, I hope that we're all wrong and it turns out to be something spectacular.
Yeah.
But I just don't see Mercedes Vernado walking through the tunnels. Like, I just don't. Anyway, because you guys got to go soon. The AEW main event tag match, which was The Acclaimed versus FTR, which everybody was waiting for, the main event, rightfully so. Excellent match of the night. Thank God Anthony Bowens healed so well.
Heck of a wrestler.
Is that your favorite wrestler?
He's one of them. I like watching Anthony Bowens.
He's amazing. He's amazing. He was underrated prior to him getting injured, because right before he got injured, he was getting matches and people were like, oh shit, this motherfucker can go. And then he got injured. Thankfully, he came back and didn't miss a beat. I love the Acclaimed as tag champions. I hope they hold it for a little longer. But the coolest part, not the coolest, but one of the cool things that came out of this, and this is what we were talking about, should have been presented differently, was that FTR is now facing the Briscoes in a dog collar match at the Ring of Honor pay-per-view this Saturday, which is a fucking big deal. Because if you've ever seen FTR versus the Briscoe brothers, it is some of the most phenomenal tag wrestling that I've seen. And I'm pretty picky and I'm pretty biased about who I like. I had never seen the Briscoes before, seeing them versus FTR like a couple of years back. So this is making me very happy about the pay-per-view. I just wish the Briscoes would have came out to challenge them personally at the AEW stage. So what do you guys think?
First off, phenomenal tag match. That is quite possibly a match of the year contender.
It was really good.
I love the fact that he won with a roll up or shoulder pin or whatever you want to call it. Schoolboy. I don't know. I'm tired. Because it doesn't really hurt anybody. You know, he just caught him slipping. That's all it was. But the match was dope as shit. Yeah, I love the Briscoes. I've been watching them for an extremely long time. Wish they were there.
Yeah, they should have.
But
been.
It's okay. It's all right. Because if they're showing up on ROH again, then maybe them and Tony came to a conclusion to, or whatever was going on with all the shit talking.
Right.
And they can stay on ROH. That is a grab. They are ROH fucking royalty. They've been there since day one, literally.
And they're great. They're not shit.
And they are one of the best tag teams in the world, and has been for an extremely long time. At least 20 years. ROH has been around for 20 years.
Have they?
Yes.
Nice.
ROH has a extremely rich history. AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels,
I heard of
Bryan Danielson, Nigel McGuinness. The names that are household names now are people that were names in ROH. So this is the pay-per-view on Saturday, right? Saturday, right? I'm not bugging.
Yes, this Saturday at 4 p.m.
Saturday is going to be fucking bonkers. Shane Taylor Taylor's coming back to ROH.
I mean, yes.
Back at Shane Taylor Promotions.
It's a beautiful thing.
So if Ron shows up, I'm gonna curse him to fuck. As a matter of fact, I should have been on the goddamn show today. Sorry, I'm thinking about it.
But
the match was great, and honestly, the Briscoes, they're just gonna tear the house down again. Saturday is a much-watched pay-per-view. Period. It is.
Period. Do you guys have any final thoughts on the main event before we move on to the hot seat?
I think it's about time they actually did something worthwhile with FTR instead of giving them basically the championship of what's been a dead brand. It feels like a consolation prize. I always tease people and I'm like, oh, thank you for mentioning FTR, the AEW US Tag Team Champions. They just feel like an afterthought. They just show up with all their belts and they barely defend them. They're barely on TV.
But
and they do the traveling champion route and everything, but at the same time, we were having a conversation about this, and we'll get into it on our show at 8:30 and everything. But I don't want to give away too much. We'll talk about that then. But to me, they feel like an afterthought in a lot of cases. I'm just glad they were on TV. Secondly, I'm glad the Acclaim got the win because this is arguably the biggest win they've ever had, and it's like they felt like an afterthought. I remember they started the year at they were the number one ranked tag team, and then they lost to Sting and Darby Allin, which was a big spot for them, right? But that's why I always say the rankings don't mean anything because the number one tag team lost to this team, and that team doesn't get a title shot, and they give a bunch of title shots to other people. So it's why do the rankings matter? They just give title shots to whoever they want anyway. It doesn't matter to anything.
The rankings.
Technically, the wrestling, I'll never have a problem with. The wrestling is always sound. The technique in the ring is always great. I can watch FTR basically wrestle like a bale of hay and still be entertained.
Because they're so good.
They're a great tag team. They're my favorite tag team. I love watching them work. I've always said that. But at the same time, I wish I could see more of them, especially if they're in this position where they have all these titles that they never defend.
I agree. The rankings are bullshit.
Rankings garbage means nothing.
Because it really makes no sense how you got these are the tag team champions, AAA tag team champions, ROH tag team champions, and yet somehow, someway they're New Japan tag team champions. Yet somehow, someway they're barely on TV. You don't have them on. You don't see them. And granted, shout outs to the Acclaim. This gives them, they got a big win over them.
Yes.
But it's still the booking of how it's been presented.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting a dog collar match between FTR and the Briscoes. It's again, we're seeing this again. It's just oh, okay, dog collar match. This is cool. But it would have been, like I said, it just would have been better if it was the Briscoes that showed up on TV and actually said this and made this challenge.
Well, even a promo.
Yeah, it would have been nice.
Even a promo would have been cool.
That would have been cool. Not you just giving it to me through the guns.
The ass boys. Guess what? Y'all going up against the Briscoes. Where the fuck are they? Jesus. Well, I'm still looking forward to that. So, guys, if you don't know, Ring of Honor pay-per-view this Saturday, 4 p.m. Eastern.
Battle.
So lovely that it's early, so you don't have to stay until 12 o'clock. I'm sorry, I'm older, so I can't pull.
It's all right because later that night is an NXT pay-per-view. So
Oh, so they
Double
know
duties for your boy.
Oh yeah, that's right. Deadline is
Yes,
that
sir.
what they were doing.
Good
So you'll be
Lord.
watching
I'm
back-to-back
watching both.
pay-per-views.
Hell
Oh
yeah.
my God.
All right. So before we get into the hot seat, y'all, once again, when you jump out of here, go jump to the Four Corners of Commentary's YouTube channel. All the links are in the description. Their show starts at 8:30 p.m. So make sure you get to their show. All right, y'all. This is the part of the show where you guys get questioned. And so we're going to start. No, not with you. We're going to start with you, QS.
I love it.
I want to know what the
QS.
question is.
Here we go. Ready? Would you rather have another 10 years with your partner, if you had one, or give it all up for one night stand that you'll never forget? You're with
Damn.
someone.
That's so careful as you could be.
Would you want 10 more years with this person? Or would you be like, fuck this? I'm going to have this one amazing night in my life that I am never going to forget.
So, I guess.
Yeah, your relationship's over, by the way.
She's definitely watching right now. She's probably watching. So 10 years, 10 more years with
Wait,
her.
you better look at the comments, bruh.
10 more years with her. Boy,
It's a trap.
it's a trap.
It's a trap. Don't do it.
It's a trap, but it's
Your brothers are here to look out for you, dog. Don't do it.
it's so tempting because it's like the one night stand would be, if anyone knows, like the one night stand would be with like the one and only Janet Jackson. So I don't know, like would I want to do 10 years with love
So
my life
cute.
or
It's so funny you say that because that's Tony. That what used to be Tone's. Like he used to say, if Janet came around, I'll give you the permission to go do whatever you want with her for.
I mean, like
It all depends
You
on how
really
greedy
have
this
those
girl is.
conversations because, like, I gotta.
Yeah, we do.
Like, Brandy Rhodes come around.
It's over.
I had one too, but he's no longer. Like I can't fuck with Will Smith no more.
oh damn. I guess
Brandy Rhodes come around.
I would say it. Like I said, it's Miss Jackson. If you're nasty, I
If
would.
it's her, it's a yes.
If it's her, I'm really leaning towards it, but I'll be safe and I'll stick it out.
Don't be a fool.
You can say that one night stand would straight up mess up your love life,
Don't
homie.
be a fool.
I mean, like 10 more years, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll do 10 more years. Yeah.
Oh man, Tone is not even responding.
It would. It would. It really would.
Stretch. Would you rather lose your eyesight or your ability to walk?
Oh
My
shit.
ability to walk. Without question, my ability to walk. I'd rather lose my ability to walk without question. That's a softball for me. I would not want to be blind in any way, shape, or form.
That's a rough one, but the fact that you
He's
answered
tired of
it-
walking now.
that's probably why
Walk
he's like,
everywhere.
"Okay,
I'd rather
roll my ass everywhere.
That motorized?
Where I'm going."
Shit.
I don't see the loss here in any way, shape, or form. But
He'll just be chauffeured everywhere.
perfect.
Kyle, would you rather,
That's
when
me.
you go food shopping, buy 10 things you really don't need every time, or always forget the one thing you really need to buy?
I have this now. What are you talking about? This is an easy one. I'm rather forget.
Real
I
life.
live that life right now. Are you crazy? Shit. That's easy.
Which one are you going for?
Forget.
I forget the one thing you
Every
always-
time. That's easy. I literally live that life as we speak. So with that being said, there's no
Me
10
too.
shit for what? What do I need 10 extra shit every time I go for it? For nothing.
I always
Nothing in the
forget.
house.
Write it down. That's what you got to do.
Random poison traps. For who? Right? No.
QS.
Yes. Let's do it.
Would you rather only be able to communicate in emojis when you text or never be able to text again?
Emojis all day. Like, I'll do it right now.
You're gonna do it right now. He's doing it right now.
I'm doing it right now. As we speak.
Stretch.
Yep.
Jump on it.
Oh snap. Stretch. Would you rather cuddle a bear or play with a crocodile?
Oh shit.
What kind of question is that? Why do I get that one?
Your
Man,
name's
better.
next to it.
Come on, mister.
Why do I get that one? That's the other ones were so practical. I mean,
which one are we
you're
doing?
asking
Because you're the
whether
same length as
I'd
both
rather
of them.
get shot with a
You're
shotgun or a
technically the same
357 Magnum, essentially. Would die either way, painfully at that.
How you know that? What if it's hibernation time? Maybe the bear just wants some fucking.
So I have to worry a whole winter about whether I'm going to get killed or not.
Maybe the bear just wants some goddamn companionship. Don't judge the bear. How dare you? Who the fuck are you, Mystical? No.
That's why I said, like, yo, come on, Mystical. What are you gonna do? Like, it's just,
what you gonna do, Stretch? Huh? Are you hugging this bear or are you playing?
No, I'm gonna go with the crocodile.
Fucking crocodile.
So I can debut a gimmick of being Brock the Croc Roberts. I would be Jake Roberts' I'd be Jake Roberts' illegitimate son that he had with an American woman after a one night stand that went awry. And I would come down the ring with a crocodile rather than a snake.
Wait, hold on. Based off of your knowledge, could it be Dusty's old valet?
Very nice.
Sweet Sapphire, baby.
Kyle.
Horrible.
Last question before the bonus question that you all are going to answer and you already heard, but I'll repeat it. Here's your question. Would you rather spend a weekend in a forest or a week in a real haunted house by yourself?
I'll be in a fucking forest. I'm bringing people with me. As soon as you said by yourself, it was over.
Be by yourself in the forest.
No. That's not what you said. That's not what you said. Doesn't count.
Both.
Doesn't count.
Both alone. Both alone. So you're either in the forest for a weekend by yourself, or you're in a fucking haunted ass house, for real haunted house, for a week by yourself. You ain't got no friends.
I don't know. Knowing my black ass, I'll probably make friends with the ghosts. So
Courtney says she's going to the haunted house.
I don't know, man. It's tough because animals are fucking wild, and I don't like snakes. And if I see a snake, I'm killing everything. I don't know how, but I'm burning down the entire forest.
So they're gonna be.
I don't know, man. You could be cool with the ghosts as long as they don't try to like do nothing foul to me. You know what I mean? Like personally, like they want to play like tricks and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, cool, you funny, nigga. Like you funny until I call Ghostbusters. You know what I'm saying? But like, if we cool, yo, if we can live, if we can cohabitate this place,
yes,
I'm good.
You're good. Okay.
A deer fucking try to kill me. No, I'm good.
All right, y'all. And real quick, because we're almost out of time. If you could create an alternate universe that you could escape to, knowing you could never return, would you? Why would you leave? And what kind of world would it be?
Can I bring people?
No, you can't. You can't bring people, but you can create a world with those people there. So it's different people. Same people, different dimension.
Like different mindset?
Yeah, like they're different.
Different attitude.
Maybe it's your
so
world.
They might not like you.
No, it's what you want.
How
you want it, when you want it. I would create a world where no matter what I eat, I wouldn't gain any weight. So there you go.
Need to take a joke from a DC Young Fly and make a world where everybody who smokes could get a blunt that never goes out. That would be amazing.
What do you guys know?
would create a world where maybe there's no disease. Oh, that would be great. No diseases. Anything like that. No pestilence. That would be nice.
I like that.
Yeah, I probably would make a world. It would be like a very it would just be a world of it would probably be a world of tranquility. Like there's no like diseases. Believe it or not, there would be no cell phones. Like we would be like, I think we were acting more like nomads, like walking around like nomads.
Back to basics.
Yeah, back to basics, and it's just peaceful. Like it's just like you got nature all around. It's just quiet.
Give me plumbing. Give me plumbing, and I'll be there.
No problem. Like that'll be the only modern thing probably that we would have. Like, all right, we have like still working bathroom. But it would be like very tranquil. Like we just like, oh, okay.
I love that. Well, guys, I know you guys got to run. It's 8:32. It's time for the Four Corners of Commentary. Make sure you jump over there. They're gonna jump from here over there. So, guys, thank you once again.
Where is it?
The link is in the descriptions. So, people, thank you guys for joining me. I hope you guys come back and have a good night, y'all. Bye.
Love you guys. Peace.
Later, y'all.